Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit-Down. Back on the couch, just chilling, talking about movies. Feels like it's been a while, and I'm very happy to be here doing it. And we just finished talking about a movie that came out of Japan. And it's not only one of the best Godzilla movies ever, it might be the best, but it is also one of the best movies of all of 2023. I know it might sound crazy to say that about a Godzilla movie, but Godzilla Minus One is the real deal. I hope it gets consideration for international feature come awards season. But if you want to see my full review about that one, you can see it right up there. But now we turn our attention to another movie coming out of Japan that comes from one of the all-time masters in the world of animation, Mr. Hayao Miyazaki, with what was potentially his last feature ever. It's been 10 years since his last one, and there are currently rumors that he might be working on something else. But whether this is the final one or not, it is, without a doubt, another Miyazaki masterpiece. What are we talking about? Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We are getting ready to dive in, spoiler-free, into The Boy and the Heron. And as I said, Miyazaki is an absolute master in the world of animation, specifically in anime. And as you know, I wasn't a huge anime fan until more recently, and I've only seen two of Miyazaki's movies, but in seeing My Neighbor Totoro and Spirited Away, that's given me enough of a vibe to respect this man with the respect he deserves. He's unbelievable, and like what I know of him is just an absolute legend in the world of animation. And when my buddy at work had mentioned that this, movie was going to be at Newark Film Festival, I was like, dude, gotta try to go. They sold out very fast, but did get a chance to go see it at a fan event this past week before its main release, and I could not have been happier sitting in that IMAX theater seeing this beautiful work of art on that massive screen. It's one of the things you gotta love about animation is it translates to IMAX super easily. But what Miyazaki does here is just, it's wonderful. And I don't know, maybe it hits more for me because I could relate to some of the things that our main character Mahito is going through. Because this is a movie that has to deal with loss and grief and acceptance of those things and moving on and how you transition into different things, and just going through what I've gone through with the loss of my sister the last few years. I was riding with Mahito from jump, and mild spoilers, but to kind of set the movie up, this is one where you find out his mother dies during the war, and then you flash forward to his dad dropping him off to go live with his soon-to-be new stepmother, who's also going to be, soon to be the mother of Mahito's either brother or sister, as she's pregnant with his dad's kid. And right away, you can tell that, Mahito is hesitant about everything. He's just trying to take it in and go about it the best that he can while he's dealing with all of this stuff. And this gray heron swoops in, almost hits him, and he kind of becomes obsessed with the heron. And he sees it kind of say things when it's just him around, and it leads him places. And in following this heron, there's an opportunity to see his mother again. But before he can get there, his stepmother, Kiriko, ends up kind of disappearing into this realm, and it becomes this adventure for him in trying to go save her. And how that adventure to save this other woman deals with his own grief and loss and acceptance was just beautiful to watch on screen, let alone the journey that Miyazaki takes you on is just this wonderful fantasy journey that is filled with lots of talking birds, some that have humans inside of them, that of course being the heron. But you also have all these parakeets that pop up at one point that are kind of like military guards. It is wild, and it's just, like I said, a really fun adventure that is juggling a lot of really deep, meaningful subject matters. And how Miyazaki handles all of that, threads that super fine needle just perfectly in its execution. And while there are times where you don't necessarily know if what you're watching is actually happening or if it's just metaphor, the way Miyazaki's story makes you buy all of it was just something that I really loved. And then, like I said, the animation is gorgeous. I mean, every single frame of this thing is beautiful to look at, and the way that it mirrors feelings that Mahito is having or scenarios and things, and just the way that he plays with everything. excellent stuff. The music, which comes from Joe Hisashi, excellent. Pairs perfectly to the story that Miyazaki's telling you, and is something that draws you to the edge of your seat in certain moments that are thrilling, but also hits you like a ton of bricks at times when Miyazaki drops that emotional hammer. I won't lie to you, I teared up multiple times during this movie. Like I said, I can connect to a lot of things that Mahito's going through, but the sheer beauty of the storytelling with the animation and the music, it just hits you. And then the biggest surprise for me was the end of the movie when the credits ran, because this is a movie that is dubbed. It's not subtitled. And Miyazaki has been very adamant in the past about he doesn't understand why people hate a dub. I like to see, the subtitled version so you can get the performances, typically in live action, of the actual people that you're seeing on screen, and you can understand their inflections and their emotions. I think that just works better. But the dub game in general, even in live action, has improved a ton. And when it comes to animation, it's so easy to dub that, you're in a world where Miyazaki's like, I don't think there's any issue with dubbing versus subtitling, especially when you're talking about movies like this that come from him in this animated world that when given to America or other countries, a kid that's not old enough to translate words in their head or read subtitles is going to lose things. So giving them that voice that is what they're familiar with allows them to enjoy this movie, and allows families to go together to movies like this. And that's something that I think is really commendable. And then when you look at who Miyazaki can get, like, this would be a no doubt Oscar nominated film just on the cast list alone. And I guarantee you this movie will be nominated for Best Picture come the end of the year. I don't know if it will get nominated for overall film of the year, but I think it could be something that could be talked about. But definitely in the animated world, I'd be shocked if this wasn't nominated, and maybe borderline shocked if it didn't win. Although the animation world has done some crazy things this year. But I digress, because the cast that Miyazaki gets here is insane. It all starts with Luca Padovan, who plays Mahito. Mahito is kind of quiet and reserved, but Padovan, I think, does a great job with him, and it makes him easily relatable, that you're down to ride with him the whole movie. And then you start inserting all these other characters. The Gray Heron is voiced by Robert Pattinson. What a wild character, and what a fantastic performance from Pattinson. Like, I always tell people, this guy has got so much range and can do so many different things. You would never know Pattinson was voicing this Gray Heron. Absolutely excellent. Then, you just filled the rest of the cast list. I won't even tell you who's who. But the people that pop in here: Christian Bale, Dave Bautista, Gemma Chan, Willem Dafoe, Karen Fukuhara, Mark Hamill, Florence Pugh, Mamadou Athie, Tony Revolori, Dan Stevens. Crazy, insane cast. And they all do an excellent job. Everybody that plays here, that's the thing that I love about animation and about a movie like this, is everybody that's here is on board to play, and they all deliver top-end stuff. And at the end of the day, like I said, whether this is Miyazaki's last film or it isn't, it's an absolute Miyazaki masterpiece. I love this thing front to back. Let's get the C-Maniacs up. When it comes to scoring, I mean, it's hard to fault this movie in many places. I think the score works really, really well with the story that's being told and the visuals that are put on screen. The story that's being told is one that balances and juggles so many deep, meaningful, emotional things, and how all of that plays to a small child. I just think Miyazaki handles that stuff flawlessly, and the animation is just gorgeous. And like I said, when you combine those three things together, the emotional beats just always connect in this one for me, and the voice performances from everybody involved are fantastic. So I really, really had a good time with this one. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen 2 movies coming out of Japan this week, and both of them are going 5 out of 5 on the C-Maniac radar. I mean, you can't beat good writing. And when the writing is strong, whether it's a Godzilla movie or an animated film, it can take you to the places that some of the best movies of the year will take you, and this one is no different in that regard for me. Like I said, I don't know Miyazaki's entire catalog that well to be like, oh, this is the best that he's ever done, but I think they're just, from what I've seen, they're just all spectacular on a very, very high playing field, and this one certainly, I think, reaches that, at least for me. So I'm going 5 out of 5 C-Maniacs. I'm flipping it over to you guys, the Miyazaki fans that are out there, you diehards. Where do you fall on The Boy and the Heron? Have you seen it? If you have, spoiler free, but what'd you think? Where does it fall in his catalog for you? If you haven't seen it, are you excited to see it? Do you want to go see it? And if you don't know anything about Miyazaki, but maybe you've heard people talking about this movie or seen a clip or a trailer, is this something that interests you? Something that you would go check out? Where do you land on anime? Like I said, like anime, some of the stuff with anime can be so crazy. It just kind of escapes me a little bit. This is not the case here. This is just beauty on screen at all times. But anything that you guys are feeling, man, whether you're digging it, you're interested, you're not, good, bad, indifferent, but spoiler free, put it down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man, anytime we're talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions, you want to be here for any other things that we got coming up. The Loki reactions are starting to go up. We got some other reviews and things, and movies that are coming out. We got Wonka coming soon, so you want to be here for any of that stuff. You just dig the general vibe. You want to come hang out with the C-Man. Well, hey, come join C-Maniac Nation. It's where all those things can happen, and you can do it simply by jumping over there, hitting that subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts. And until next time, for the C-Man Cinema Sit Down, I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace. Oh, you guys are still here. You snuck up on me. You must be looking for more of this guy. Well, I got two video options for you, man. Right up here and right over here. And if you want all those C-Man goodies, well, hey, come join the squad right on over there, and I'll catch you on the next one.